Hello, bright and shiny beacon of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation, here in northern New Jersey at Jessica, my wife's family place this evening as we are heading up to Canada tomorrow. Actually, a stop first in Albany for veterinary care for our kitties. And we have our 3 kitties with us, and then up to Quebec. I am running solo tonight, meaning I've got Aya Bear and Ann Bear in the chat, but it is me behind the camera and in front of the camera. So I want people to let me know if you're seeing me and hearing me all right as we begin this. And I do understand there's a bit of a delay, but I'm going to be doing my best to watch the chat and go, okay, people are seeing me and hearing me all right. Let's see. What are we going to cover tonight? We are going to cover a channeled talk. So basically, I go into automatic writing, process that I teach, but I go into automatic writing before each YouTube live. And I go to Angels and Guides and I say, all right, what's going on? What do I get to teach? What do we want to talk about? And they've been playing all month with me with REM's song, It's the End of the World as We Know It. And don't worry, we will be fine. And so Mystic Moonsoul is saying, yay, Michael, in my country. Yeah, we're gonna be touring all of Quebec, and we're gonna go up and see the Beluga at Tues, and it should be a lot of fun. Then we'll double back into New England and probably head out to the Rockies from there. I want to tell you tonight about this channeling. So I channeled this morning, heard what's coming for this month, what's coming for a lot of the summer, things to watch for, watch out for, things we get to do internally to be ready. And that's what I really want to dive into. Before I do that, since so many of you are following our journey, we moved to Florida about a year and a half ago after our baby Hannah, who's no longer a baby, was 6 months old. She had some heart challenges. We wanted to get her outside. We wanted to get her active at that time. And I'm also a I guess big time swimmer, Xterra triathlete. Got first at nationals in the swimming portion of the race, 6 overall. We're working on it, and I had some School of Mystic members there cheering me on. Woohoo! You guys rock. So Florida was very healing, was very good for us. But this summer we wanted to travel and explore, and I guess you could say beat the heat and also do some races up north. I'll be racing in Mont Tremblant this coming Saturday. And moving was is still much more of a challenge than we expected. Going from our home, downsizing from a home to an RV, but also wanting to bring stuff in the RV for some time spent in the Rockies before we come back home, meant it was really 3 moves in one. Along with that, we were getting more tech involved, Starlink satellite system, and doing all of these things so that we can really provide you with a powerful professional show on the road. I bit off a lot more than I could chew. It is a miracle we are having this show here tonight. And I may have to pull close to my first college all-nighters in a very long time, since Hannah Bear was born. That was an almost all-nighter for me. That was an all-nighter for Mama Bear when she went into contractions just before midnight. And I think she turned on the light and I said, yep, I know. To get us out tomorrow is going to take a very small miracle. We can do it. Mark Wyndham is saying, Mont Tremblant. Tremblant is how you say it in English, like tremble, but with an A-N-T at the end of it. And hopefully it goes very well, because this month, instead of fully training, it has been, well, the training I have been doing has been running up and down stairs, packing things. All right. So I wanted to share where we're at, how the journey has been going. It is phenomenal, the opportunities for learning. And that's a lot of what I want to talk with you about tonight, because so many things have gone off script. So many things you could say have gone wrong. And I can't say that I can find my tongue at those times. I get to be lost with words. However, I'm able to keep stepping forward because of the training I've been doing. And that's what I want to gift you with a little bit this evening. Of course, we've also got our School of Mystics. And this month, so the theme for the School of Mystics is going to be spiritual warrior training or light warrior training. Ooh, we may have a special guest here. I'm not sure. The special guest has left the room, but we may again have a special guest here. So we're doing spiritual warning, or you could say warrior training, or light warrior training this month. And I don't like the word warrior, but there's a time and a place to be prepared internally for what's coming. And we're going to talk more about that in about 30 seconds here. First off, my daughter, Hannah Bear, who I've been mentioning and is a big reason we went to Florida, she wants to say hi, don't you? Uh-oh. Lots of stuff falling. That's okay. I'll take care of it. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Yeah? Oh, goody. So tonight you can't see them because it's not Zoom, it's YouTube Live, and you're having one of Gong Gong's or Grandpa's veggie dumplings. How is it? Oh, no. Oh, thank you. You just gave me your dinner. How does it get any better than this? Thank you. You're so kind. Do you want to share anything with everybody before I go into semi-channeling and sharing the channeling that I got from this morning from the angels?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you want to say? Yeah? Okay, Mommy. All right, good night. Love you. Oh, do you want to wave goodbye to everybody? Want to wave goodbye? Yay! You good? Okay. Lots of love. Have fun. Enjoy the dumplings. All right. She just hopped off and she said, more dumplings. And I couldn't agree more. They're Grandpa's famous dumplings. All right. Where are we going? What's going on with the world and what's coming up this month? Can you turn off the light? Okay, I'm getting a note. Can you turn off the light in the back? Pookstar, would you mind shutting off? I'm hearing, can you shut off the light that's in the back? Would you mind shutting this light off, please? Hopefully that is better for people. And I'm sure you can let me know if that is better or not. All right, what do we want to talk about? What's coming up over this summer? The universe likes to speak to me, or angels like to speak to me in modern vernacular, in music, in phrases, in images, in movie clips. And they're giving me a scene from from Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop 1. And they're saying, the heat is on. and there's Eddie Murphy flying around out the back of a truck. It is going to be a very hot summer, literally, metaphorically, spiritually, energetically. The heat is going to be unheard of. Even if you're in the southern hemisphere, the energy is going to be unheard of or hot over this coming summer. So if we were to look globally at everything, really the world is heating up this summer. And because I'm not a gloom and doom guy, I can't say I'm celebratory about any of that, but I see huge positives. There is something special happening this month, specifically in June. There is the solstice portal that comes around twice a year. But the solstice portal, particularly this year, coming after all of the eclipse goodness that we had and coming after all of the energy that's being pumped into the earth by the sun. If you don't think the sun is taking an active role in helping us change, the Aurora Borealis, or Northern Lights, made it down to Miami. It was craziness. What does this mean? It means there's actually a sweetness this June. There's a sweetness and a power possible toward the end of June that we get to be aware of. So this is a month where we're going to talk more about it. Storms may come early. Fires may come early. All of the things we expected at the end of summer may be coming at the beginning of the summer and be flip-flopped. Not that they're going to only be at the beginning, but just meaning they're here way ahead of schedule. And there's still a possibility for sweetness. Now, the secret to all of this is becoming, and this is something I've been teaching a little bit about lately, really we're going to dive into on a subconscious level in this month's School of Mystics, and I'm sure team can put down a code for you and everybody in the chat who's in the School of Mystics. Hello, fellow mystics. I love you guys. Big bear hug. And share all about it. But I want to talk with you about becoming aware of your immortality. Not of your mortality, of your immortality. What does that mean? It means you truly are an energetic being having an energetic experience in human form, in a meat suit, a beautiful meat suit, a credible, capable meat suit, whatever meat suit you've got, a rental suit, you could say. But we are getting to this time period, get to become aware of our immortality, meaning that there's so much more going on than meets the eye. Not even just a little bit, but my term that I like to use is a lottle bit more going on than meets the eye. We get to become aware, not of who and what we believe ourselves to be, but the something greater that is possible. Not just possible, that is already inside of us, that is who and what we are. That's why we're doing light warrior training in the School of Mystics this month. Why? Because our beliefs are stuck in, well, our beliefs. There are beliefs, let's put it this way. There are beliefs of the collective. There are beliefs of the zeitgeist. And you're going, well, this is a prediction show. Yes, but predictions, predications, have everything to do with beliefs. So if I say it's the end of the world as we know it, and you believe it, crazy stuff is going to go down. I mean, really crazy stuff. If I say it's the end of the world as we know it, meaning we're about to claim a brand new world, a higher level existence, once we believe it, once we feel it, once we can see it in our mind's eye. Boy, do I wish I had cleaned my glasses better before this. That is what we will see too. Predications are always based on beliefs. Always. Why? Because these suckers, this beautiful thing, and this to some extent, is one giant projector of reality. So I get to watch my words with you tonight because we are all together going to project a new reality. That's why I said the heat is on and there's some good stuff. You see, they're beliefs stuck inside of us. When we get them out, we completely change how we see the world, and the world changes to reflect it. Oh, my microphone. I'm turning it more toward me and it turns away from me. That's exciting. When we change how we see the world, oh my gosh, it's Wayne Dyer. How did it go, Wayne? Change the way you look at the world, change the way you see the world. The world you see it change. No, okay, I'm not sure I'm channeling Wayne at the moment, but he had a statement about this. When you change the way you see the world itself begins to change. The world reflects your change. It reflects your belief. So this is key to understand. Do I want to say I promise? I promise the world is heating up this summer. I promise storms will be coming up. Oh my God. Do I have to say I promise? No. Good. Okay. What I'm told is there will be record climate disaster in 2024. More climate disaster this year than almost any year combined. It is going to be on a global historic scale. On top of that, there will be shootings. Oh my God. Do I have to read this? There will be shootings. There will be riots. There will be unexpected wars, and there will be tragedies in the world, but in the U.S. as well. However, let's go to the positives here. And that was a lot to digest. None of these are to take our attention away from the greatest prize. So key to understand. So this week, what I had was minor. You've got what do you have? All sorts of RV challenges, all sorts of car challenges, car coming off a trailer challenges, this challenge, furniture into wall challenge, blah 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 challenge. I get to remember the big picture and not get stuck in my challenges. If your home gets totaled, it is very hard to remember that you are greater than your home. This is your challenge. Your home can be literal. It can also be metaphorical. If your stability, if your carpet is ripped out from under you this summer, even if it's just from watching that TV in front of you, if your stability is ripped out from in front of you, you get to focus on one important thing: who and what you truly are. That is the prize. Keep a focus on what you desire. If your desire is peace, if your desire is happiness, heck, I've got another chance to qualify. Outside chance? Yeah. But I do have another chance to qualify for the World Championships coming next weekend. And I will keep a focus on that, or at least getting to Canada. I will keep a focus on that. As everything was going weird this week, I kept a focus on it. And I'm keeping a focus on getting up to Tues by Segway on the St. Lawrence River and showing Hannah Bear baby beluga this summer. I'm keeping a focus on it. That's what this month is about. Not about baby beluga, not about winning a race, not about specifically the externals. But it's a month where we get to focus on what we want to place on our hearts, what we want to see in the world individually and collectively, despite the chaos that's coming. That's the key. Keep your focus on what you desire, despite the chaos that's coming. So storms may surprise you in how fast they pop up and how furious they are. Storms may surprise you in how much force they have. The same with forest fires. These will come much sooner than expected. And the devastation is going to be on a scale that we didn't even think was possible. At the same time, there will be a massive twist in the election, I'm told. I don't know what that is, but get ready for it. I'm told it's going to throw a complete curveball at people, that people would, under normal circumstances, even change sides because of the curveball. But nobody's going to change sides because we are not just invested in the election. We as a people, maybe not you, not me, but as a people, we identify ourselves with a candidate. We identify ourselves with a party. We identify ourselves with an outcome. So even those curveball would make somebody go, oh my God, no. That will not be the case because people will not be ready to switch sides. It will, on the other hand, both diffuse energy, because a lot of people are going to be confused and so not have that fervor, that fire they had before. And for the more radicals, it will add to the fire. We get to watch for this. Believers cannot be changed because that's the very definition of them. So we're going to have radically interesting election news or candidate news. Add to the fire, or to add to that, the wars will not end in June, but will spread. Now, what I keep hearing is that these wars are coming to an end and that these wars are a last gasp of the old oligarchy. And I truly believe it with my heart, soul, and might. And at the same time, no, what I'm hearing, peace will not reign in June, but appear to reign a different way, appear to grow more distant. Let's bring it back to the positive. At the same time, there will be more neighbors helping neighbors. How does it get any better than this? Meowsers, who's sort of by my side and napping right now. When we first got here yesterday, there was a hole in the fence. And he immediately found himself in the neighbor's yard, and the neighbors were trying to take care of him. There will be more neighborly love during this time, and there is going to be some serious disaster relief needed, and you will find more people sharing the love. So important. You flip on that tube, you flip on that whatever these days. You can either focus on the devastation, which in a sense brings more devastation. It's okay to take a look at. We just don't want to focus there. It's okay to be aware. And then we turn to disaster relief. That's where you want to place your attention. Focus on the help that people need and on them getting them help and on more and more magical help coming their way. And maybe even bills being passed to help all of the people in need. You focus on that. Of course, we can even focus on the storms continuously going out to sea and it being an incredibly peaceful summer. It's so important to understand, though, for each measure this month, there is a countermeasure. I'm going to be talking about countermeasure more and more through this. We're going to see how far we get tonight because, I have a, not going to say all-nighter, I have a full evening ahead of me. For each measure, there is a countermeasure. And I wish I could see all of the chat here. I get to figure out how to zoom in on the text. I see Mary Fryer, Beverly Nickerson, Gary Ballard. There's a great discussion going on here on the election. All right, countermeasure. Let's look at the latter part of the summer. We're going to come back to countermeasure. In the latter part of the summer and early fall will be some of the worst natural disasters. September will be one for the record books, and then some, and then some, and then some. And there may even be something on the pandemic side of things, but not where you would expect it. And I'm going, oh, really? Not where we expect it. I'll be interested to see what that means. I asked the guides and I asked the angels, is there any good news? They said there's always great news, but there's always great news, but that's what you get to focus on. There will be beautiful books coming out. I'm still working on mine, but there will be beautiful books. Do you mean mine too? Hopefully. My beautiful books coming out that we get to read. Beautiful understandings that we get to lean into. And they kept on referring to Princess Diana. I'm not sure there, but that is certainly a heart-based individual. So I would keep an eye out for Princess Diana topics. There's going to be so much beauty going on toward the end of the summer, but it will be simply and complete, tongue-tied. It will simply be completely and totally overlooked by what's going on. There may even be another mass shooting having to do with LGBTQ on the horizon as well. But there is so much in the do-good camp too. So much in the do-good camp. The trick here again is very simple. Not to recognize or give validity to these external events. What does that mean, not to recognize and give validity? It means if something happened, you can take a look at it. If you're driving down the highway and there's a car accident, it's okay to see the car accident briefly, keep your eyes on the road, but go, okay, car accident, and keep going. The trick is when you focus on the car accident, then there are more car accidents. So we give validity insofar as saying, yeah, car accident. We don't give validity as far as focusing on it, so it's an even bigger accident. Instead, we use countermeasures. What in the world is a countermeasure? If we realize and recognize this is a holographic universe. If you've ever seen a hologram, it's like a reflection inside of a reflection inside of a reflection, typically 3D. Infinite in all directions. And it's a repeating fractal. It's a repeating number sequence. Meaning the images we keep seeing and the patterns we keep seeing repeat over and over and over and over again. Now, I was in a shaman-led ayahuasca ceremony many years ago. And they showed me my life and then lives, as a room, kind of like a tile mosaic, almost like a dominoes tile. And there'd be this one beautiful, ornate room filled with tiles that represented one lifetime, and then another which represented another lifetime, and another lifetime. And there was an infinite number of dominoes, and then they were laid out in these fractal-like patterns. It was really cool. If you recognize, and I was told, this is your life, this is the infinity of your life. It's a perpetually repeating fractal nature. Perpetually repeating fractal nature. Say that 10 times fast. That's what the universe is. A perpetuating fractal nature of a universe. In other words, the entire universe is based on mirror images. The question is, mirror images of what? That's what's so important. What are these fractal images? They are mirror images of what you see in your mind. So, if we focus on, for instance, there are going to be more shootings, and there's even, I'm told, going to be an attempted killing or assassination possible. Attempted something. Crazy. If we focus on that, we bring more shootings and stuff like that about. If we place our focus, this is the countermeasure, on what I'll call the cute and fuzzy bunnies. This does not mean making light of things. On who's helping who, on what good stuff is taking place, on what greatness is being done in the world, individually, collectively, as a society, as a country, as a globe, all together as one. If we focus on this, this is where the mirror, the fractals grow, and that holographic image. This is the countermeasure. If we focus more on the outer circumstances, we create more on the outer circumstances. If we focus more on the outer circumstances, that's what we get more of. If we focus on the inner ones, this is where it gets really cool. And I'm giving you a lot tonight. Hopefully not too much, but this is all coming out of the channeling. If we focus on the inner ones, we create more of those circumstances as well. What does that mean? It cannot be overstated that June, the month of solstice, is heating up. But if we focus on the inner images we desire, the more powerful you become. Here's where it gets really interesting. Energy isn't just outside of us. We can see warring, we can see fighting, we can see loving, we can see this, we can see that. We can see all this energy going around. Well, guess what? The more energy that is out here, the more energy, because this is a reflection of in here, the more energy we can play with in here. The more energy going on out here, the more energy, the more powerful you become in here. Notice I'm bouncing back and forth. They keep giving me one bombshell, and then we discuss how we can use it as a positive. Then they give me another bombshell here, and here's the next one. So the energy of June is going up higher than we've ever seen before. This will be the hottest summer of all summers, not just in the Northern Hemisphere, but meaning the global average will be higher this summer than ever. Period. Done deal. End of story. Humanity will never have felt this much energy ever before until now. First, that comes in terms of heat. It will come in terms of fire, something we haven't talked about yet. It will come in terms of flash drought, meaning a place that, like, could be the Northeast. I wasn't told this, but a place that is lush and verdant, wet, green, all of a sudden like that, will be drier than a tinderbox and on fire. So there'll be this term called flash drought coming about, and then flash fire, where a place dries out very, very quickly. They actually said expect fires in, I didn't reread this, expect fires in the Midwest like Kansas. Oh my gosh. Like Kansas, and I'm not sure where the other place is. There was a typo there from when I was doing my channeling this morning. And there will be too many fires of all places in Florida to count, even though that's formally considered tropical. When the heat comes, there will be so much energy. And then after that, there will be a seemingly never-ending procession of storms, and the entire eastern seaboard, and I would guess the Gulf as well, may grow exceptionally weary because it's going to be a line of storms, sort of like there's a line of satellites now. Whenever the Starlink system passes overhead, there will be a line of storms, one after the next, after the next, and there will be a line of political storms, one after the next, after the next. Now, one can grow incredibly weary of this. Really? Another one? Really? Another one? We got here yesterday, and oh my gosh, it was so challenging getting here. And we get here, and we go to take the car off of the tow dolly, which had a minor boo-boo. It was fine the day before, but it was on the tow dolly, and it got here, and we were very excited. And so people can hear me tapping the table. All right, must remember, this is the table we cannot tap on. I went to take, so tow dolly means that the front wheels are up on the Mini. We bought a Mini years ago for towing. We got a 4-wheel drive Mini, and we got it all set up, spent thousands of dollars to tow it behind an RV, only to find with the 4-wheel drive we couldn't tow it. We were told we could tow it. Turned out you couldn't. So this one's front wheel drive. We double checked, triple checked, quadruple checked. I had checked a bunch of that one too. And we towed it, and we got it here yesterday. And I go and get in it to drive it back off of the ramps. First off, because the way the driveway is tilted, I couldn't get the ramps, access to the ramps to get it released. That was a big challenge. I finally get the ramps down. I turn on the car, and it's got warning light after warning light after error light after malfunction light after, oh my God. It basically said, you killed me. and it's like one thing too many. You're like, we are so exhausted from this journey that's just begun. But I breathed into it. I got it off the ramps or down the ramps and onto the road. And I said, Minnie, you and I are going to go for a little ride, and we're going to reset. And she did. All of the warning lights, one I had to reset manually, but all the others, and that was just for air pressure, reset on their own. We can grow very, very weary this summer. This is why I'm doing spiritual warrior, light warrior training this summer, because we can get really exhausted very quickly. We can call it a flash exhaustion coming up, and we're not actually starting from very much in the tank. That's why I'm doing this training with everyone in the School of Mystics this month, because I want to transform the energy inside of you that could be one of extreme exhaustion. I want to help you alchemize it into something positive. You can actually harness and use this energy. That's what I'm going to be teaching starting this Wednesday, 4 Wednesdays this month. I'm going to teach you how to play with this energy so it doesn't exhaust you, but instead you can use it for your greater good. You can actually harness this energy. Remember, anything that is outside of you is inside of you. Michael, if there's so much chaos outside of me, does it mean I'm chaos and chaotic inside of me? No, energy is just energy. We don't have to label it for this. There's a lot of energy. So you get to play with a lot of energy. You get to turn it into something positive. It's something available to you and available to everyone. The trick is how we access it and how to use our subconscious at this time for you rather than against you. That's what I did well this week. I must admit, many times I went geek. I can't speak right now. But my subconscious said, it's all going to work out. My subconscious said, you'll get through this. Subconscious said, you don't have a clue how to do this. Oh yeah, I have to do an oil change on the generator RV before we leave here tomorrow morning. Do you know the last time I did an oil change? The last time I did an oil change, I think was before computerized cars. And yet I get to do an oil change in the morning before we leave here, because you can't do oil changes at campgrounds, and the diesel generator needs, which provides power for the RV if you're not plugged in, needs an oil change. I don't have a clue how to do it, But my subconscious programming is working for me rather than against me and says, oh, don't worry, we'll figure it out. We'll step forward. You're going to be fine. That's where I get to play with you, because our subconscious programming wants to run and hide. Our subconscious programming wants to go under the table. Our subconscious programming amplifies the crap going down rather than diffusing it and flipping that energy on its head so that we can use it for goodness. I don't want to help you just make it through. I hear my phone buzzing. I wonder if I'm tapping on the table again too much. I don't want to just help you make it through. I want to help you into the light. So while there is darkness on this planet, it is always counterbalanced and then some by the light. The darker it appears, the brighter it appears as well. The universe and the earth has a perfect counterbalance. Actually, even more so, because we're always spiraling upwards. Nobody has ever in the history of history talked about, well, spirituality suggests that we're spiraling downwards. It could be spiraling inwards. But we always use the term, because this isn't a three-dimensional universe, even though we believe it to be, but we use the term spiraling upwards, meaning there always has to be more light than dark. Always, always, always. So this undercurrent, what's going on beneath the surface right now. So I was swimming in a lake today. First time I've swam out of the ocean. No, second time. I did national championships last month. Oh my God, that was cold. That was 50 or 51 degree water. This water today was 74, but the water was going one direction at the top and a different direction underneath. That's an undercurrent. And by the ocean, it can certainly be an undertow. Key point, if you ever get caught in an undertow, don't worry about it. Kick back, relax. They swirl. They don't just spit you out to Europe if you're on the east coast of the US. They go out and come in and go out and come in. You can relax into the undercurrents. You can relax into the undertow. The term undertow is actually very misleading. It's probably what gets a lot of people killed. It says you're going to be pulled under. Might be spun around a little bit, but you will not be pulled under. That's where we're at too in life. The undercurrent is one of pure goodness, of pure greatness, of pure possibility. The undercurrent is here to wake us up and bring us up and to completely transform your life. This is a summer where we can completely transform our lives. Why are we going on the road? Well, there's the heat, and I've been channeling, so I know what's coming in Florida. I love you if you're in Florida. I love you, I love you, I love you. We'll be back in the fall or late fall. We need to get on the road, though, not because of any of the external circumstances or external possibilities, but because there's so much energy this year to transform our lives. Transform your life. If you're looking for it, if you're ready for it, if you believe it is coming. So we said we want our lives to be transformed. Let's go play in countries that are speaking other languages. Let's go explore other ways of being, other lands, other everything. Let's look at a different way to live for this summer and get ourselves light and allow this transformation to take place. So this week we had opportunity after opportunity for us. One of the biggest was what happened? We went to tow the car. We got the car on the tow dolly. There's all sorts of circumstances to do that, only to find out that the distance between the car and the bikes behind the RV was too close, and that if we turned, the car and bikes would mate, and the car would be wiped out, and the bikes would be wiped out. I'm staring at it, looking at it, and going, oh boy. And so I said, okay, I know, I can see in my head, I need to get a hitch extension. I can see how this works. This will work great. Okay. What I'm going to do is back the car up very slowly. I don't need Jessica's help. And I'm going to go and get this extension. I get in the car. I breathe deep. I back up nice, gentle, slowly. Bam! Sorry. I had forgot to put the ramps back down. and the car fell off the tow dolly. Now, there's some major angels looking after us at this point. Major, and thankfully I had gone so ridiculously slowly that it didn't appear that it ripped the front of the car off. In fact, there's one tiny scratch, inch long, 2 millimeters wide, in the black part of the bumper. You can't even tell that it's there. But I didn't know that the car wasn't stuck on the dolly. And I'm like, let's go forward and see if I can pull it back up. And Jessica's like, no. Let's figure out, let's do this. And she stopped short of call for help. Let's try to do this. Let's try that. Let's try the other thing. And what I did is I went to the undercurrent. I went to that calm stillness. I went to that silence. I went to believing it's all going to work out and it's all going to be okay. And of course, I stared under the car as long as I could, tried to listen to the car. And then I backed up the car, only to find it wasn't touching a darn thing. It was perfectly all right. Had I had to call for help, a tow truck, this, that, the other, chances are the trip may well have been canceled. But I kept focusing. This is the undercurrent of it's all going to work out. Something special is going to come of this. That's what I've done with these opportunities over the last week. Something special will come out of this. And by focusing on that undercurrent of something special is coming out of us, that's exactly what I've gotten each step of the way. Now, what's really interesting about the undercurrent is it's real. The undercurrent isn't a thought. The undercurrent isn't a belief. The undercurrent is actually a current of light, or a current of pure goodness just beneath the surface. We get to focus on this, a current of pure light and pure goodness just beneath the surface. Now, we lived on Maui for years. We traveled to the Big Island to some dear friends on occasion. There was a volcano going off, a live volcano while we were there. And we got to walk out on these recently hardened surfaces that were sharp, jagged, razor-like stone at wild and crazy angles, the way the lava healed or the way the lava cured. And it looks like a very barren and dry and burned surface. What you don't realize is right below the surface is new earth chugging along, being formed. There is an undercurrent or current of pure, glowing light literally beneath your feet, just waiting to create new earth. That's where we're at now. The trick is, if you focused on the hardened, dry, and burned surface, if you focus on that, you can't access the power and energy of the new earth down below. Again, that's why we're having the School of Mystics this whole month on focusing on that light down below. Because when you focus on the light and focus on the current that's underneath, and that's what life is all about. It's who and what you are, is the current that's underneath. It's not this outer circumstances. You are the light. Let me let you in on a little secret. You are the light. And you actually have incredible power to build a new earth. The light is actually 10 times more powerful than the darkness. 10 times more powerful. What does this mean? When you watch somebody or something on the news, when you watch something and you don't agree with it, when you watch something and it pisses you off and it makes you mad, know that the light is 10 times more powerful. Yeah, how do we know that? How is that a fact? Well, look up at the stars. Have they been destroyed? Has the universe collapsed? Has the universe imploded? No. In fact, the last I heard, the universe is still expanding. In other words, light and goodness are winning. If it was that darkness won, we wouldn't be here. If darkness ever wins, we wouldn't be here. The light is 10 times more powerful than the darkness. And when you learn how to use it and alchemize it, you change your whole world. Now, this brings us back full circle. I'm going to drink a little water here. And people know the running joke of me not having water. and my fatigue levels suggest we might keep this a little bit on the early side Q&A wise here tonight. People are aware I typically don't bring much water or remember water for YouTube Live and classes. Ha 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 ha. I need to get a sponsor from these guys, but how does it get any better than this? Hold on. All right. This brings us back to the understanding of countermeasure. And I can see, Hiya Bear, if you're listening, we're going to have to keep the Q&A really, really, really short here tonight. And Mystics will do my best to take even more of your questions this Wednesday. But I'm looking at my internal energy levels and going, ooh, goody. Do I get to do a bunch of good stuff after this? Countermeasures. If you understand this is a holographic fractal mirror image universe, holographic fractal mirror universe, if you truly get this, then you understand that the reality that you see is not real. It was made up in someone else's mind or in some other collective's mind, and then one person believed it, and then another person believed it, and then someone else believed it, and then someone else believed it. For instance, that's why the world is still warring, because of a collective belief. If we didn't have this collective belief that war solves any problems, we wouldn't be warring. We would turn to our government if we didn't have a belief that war solves anything. And we would say, you're going to stop making guns now. And you're going to disassemble all the missiles and all that stuff's going to go away because we have a collective belief that says war is bad. War doesn't solve anything. War only kills people. However, that's not what the collective belief is today. The collective belief is still there's a time and a place for war. And so what do we get? A time and a place for war. But if that belief were to be changed by the individual, hello, such as focusing on love, focusing on light, focusing on the undercurrent, focusing on food for all, focusing on peace for all, or simply on a safe home for ourselves, that would become the prevailing wind or belief, and that would change your world, and then that would change the whole world. So the most important thing to understand right now is that imagination trumps reality any day of the week. Imagination trumps reality. For imagination is taking an image and broadcasting it outwards. That's what imagination does. It takes an image and broadcasts it out. It takes an image. If you take an image and print it, that's what it does, is it's taking an image in your mind's eye and printing it or projecting it on the wall or on the movie screen of the whole world before us for everyone and everything to see. Even if you think I'm just keeping that belief to myself, you ain't. Because this is a holographic universe. Every thought you have, don't worry, don't sweat it. We all have interesting thoughts. Guilty as charged, to say the least. Again, it's but what you focus on. And we do so we can change the world not by training ourselves to not project things outwards, but instead project things inwards, seeing with our mind's eye, not seeing what's out here, but seeing what is possible. When we project inwards by seeing what's possible, it then projects outwards as well and begins to literally change the world. And there will come a time sooner than you think when the critical mass is changed, critical mass is reached, and the world on the outer begins to change. So, how much more is there? Wow. Let's do what we can here. I'm just looking at the time and looking when I get to go. And my apologies. Here's a good opportunity or two for me this evening. We recently had on Jeffrey Hoppe. If you haven't caught his interview from Adamus St. Germain, you got to catch it. You've got to catch it. And if you want kind of the futuristic channeling of all channeling, go to Pamela and Ireland show, which was the week before that. I'm very biased, but they were amazing. Now, both of their assessments and many others say that 2024 will be so disastrous that humanity will reach the tipping point. Actually, 2024 going through 25 and 26, even into 27. But it will begin now. It will be so disastrous. We will hit a tipping point. Now, can you focus on the tipping point without the disasters? Yes, but that's a matter of what we wish to project. Can it make a big enough difference by focusing on what we desire to see? Yes, if everyone believes it. Is it too late to start focusing on what we desire and making a change so that we don't have this desires? No, because there isn't a line of hurricanes yet. There's no better time to begin creating this new reality than now. And one last shameless plug for our Light Warrior training. There is no better time than now, right now, to work on your subconscious, which is what we're doing this month, to help switch you energetically, which is what we're doing this month, so that you can have countermeasure after countermeasure at the ready for anything coming your way. We can set you up for a preemptive strike of goodness and love and groundedness for no matter what comes your way. And I'll let Ann Bear and Aya Bear put the links there. There's no better time than now, and in June, with all of this energy floating around, to work on your inner self, to work on your inner countermeasures, work on being able to focus and change that channel each and every time you see what you do not want to see. Doesn't mean we become impervious to other suffering. Doesn't mean that we ignore what's going on or choose not to help. So many people will need our help this summer. Plan on helping, bank on helping, put aside money to help, put aside time to help. Say, I know I'm going to get to help. I look forward to giving help. So many people are going to need it. It's interesting. I was channeling, and what I got is, do everything you can to help others and focus on disaster relief. And I said, well, that's a really strange term. And they said, focus on even better outcomes, on beautiful outcomes, on what is possible. That's what you get to do. Focus on what is possible. Focusing on what is possible is the most beautiful and powerful countermeasure in the world. Now, I asked a few last questions before we wrap this up. I asked, will the economy blow up in 2024? They said, no, not likely, though it will sputter in 25, and that's when things begin their temporary nosedive as your current trajectory shows it. Again, all projections into the future have to do with what we project on our inner reality. I said, will housing prices tank in 2024? They said, no, but they begin to head south. Is there anything else to focus on, I asked. Individually, the places there, for ourselves. Individually, the places there, a home or home and land to build on, if that's what Jessica, Hannah Bear, and myself want. Remember, the most important thing is where we place our focus. Nothing else matters, and that's the message. Now, they said a few last things. If you're in a fire-prone area, or if there's a flash drought, have a preparedness plan in place. If you're in a hurricane zone, be sure you're ready to move. Always, they say this year, always have a plan B. Have your plan B this year. If stuff goes down, where am I going to go? If stuff goes down, what am I going to do? But then focus on the greatest plan and the best plan, your plan A. Focused on the greatest plan A and the best plan A with everything you've got. So they said for me, focus on winning the race for something even better. And so now, what I'd like to say, and then I'm going to take just a few questions. Focus on the positives. Flip it around on the inside. Bring your energy up, way, 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 way up. Be the light warrior that you get to be. And you will bring about an outcome from 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28, even better than you ever imagined, even if it starts appearing just a little bit rough or like the heat is on. And as I like to say, how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? All right, I'm going to open just a few questions. I do not have information regarding a big earthquake in California this year, although they did actually mention volcanic activity. I got nothing really on the earthquake front, but Wouldn't surprise me because I mean volcanoes and earthquakes tend to come hand in hand. I doubt there's going to be. Well, I doubt there's going to be a earthquake or a volcano on the west coast. Jan, can angels hear us if we talk to them in our heads? Oh yeah, energy is energy. You can use energy in your head. You can use energy through song. You can use energy, sorry everybody, by tapping on the table. It doesn't matter what form the energy is in. They've got you covered. Dominique Landry, any positive things coming? This is a time of positive upgrades if you focus on it. It is an easier time for upgrades than ever. So the big positives that I see is people coming together through these challenges. That's huge. And us shifting on the inside, helping humanity awaken or ascend to a higher level. No one individual thing taking place that's positive. More like in the collective consciousness and in the internal consciousness. Megan Vandermast. My work with animal and nature communication gets harder with the human, weather, and natural disaster factors having effects on animals and nature. How do I not break through this? My work with animal and nature communication gets harder with the human, weather. My guess is, Megan, it's going to take an even greater practice on getting grounded, meaning finding your sacred place for which to write, for which to listen, for which to hear, which is the same as listen. And at the same time, being able to step aside from the thinking mind's concerned with the consequences to let the heart hear even better what the animals, nature, and the earth have to say becomes so exquisitely important. And I mean, this is a huge challenge and opportunity. And whenever I go back to them, I hear that animals chose this path. I got to be honest, that's a hard pill for me to swallow. I don't know how many koalas passed away in the fires in Australia over the last couple of years. That's really hard for me to wrap my mind around. And I pick koalas because they're cute, but I mean, we can go to squirrels, we can go to deer, we can go to bear, we can go to mountain lion, we can go to on and on and on and on and on. On it goes, crocodiles, alligators. And yet, to be able to hear and listen, we get to step aside even more. But I'm told that every spirit, every being here is a spiritual being, and every being that is here at this time chose to be here at this time and for a specific reason. And so if they meet their demise, is such a strange term, transition back to the other side in these ways, that there was a reason for it. I will say this, and I haven't had deep communications with the angels and guides about this yet, but they have hinted or alluded to it. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It just always is. It always exists. And in the energy are collective memories. Every memory that you have did not come in from you, did not come to you, and it is not stored in this noggin here. It is stored in the field. What does that mean? It means that when that technology is unveiled, and there's so much more technology here than meets the eye. Oh my God, the Stephen Greer show next week is like the show of all shows of top secret reveal, top secret reveal, top secret reveal. And team, get with me on titles on this, because I took some exquisite notes with Dr. Stephen Greer on what are titles that we can share with people for this one. But there's so many reveals going on, and there's so much technology out there that we don't know of. When this technology comes forward, because animals are in the memory of animals, the DNA of animals is in the field, I believe we can bring them back. I believe we can have more of a heaven on earth, and that those animals that have perished, energetically, they haven't perished, and we can bring them back. Now, how we do that and how we do it safely, I have no idea. But it can be done. A couple more questions. Christy, on May 14th, I had the most incredible experience. I was awake but dreaming. Oh, I love it. I could see these rods of pastel lights jutting across my mind's eye. What does this mean? You're seeing beyond the field. You're seeing into the field. You're seeing beyond the human experience. These rods of pastel lights that almost reminds me in some strange way of an aurora borealis. I can't say what they mean to you except this. What I want you to do, Christy, is tonight before you go to bed, and each night before you to go to bed, focus on the rods of pastel light. I'm convinced they are the key to a doorway to unlock the other side. The more that you focus on these and the more that you put yourselves in the vibrational alignment with these rods and lights, the more the tumblers are going to fall in place to carry you someplace even more special, which is here, but for having more visions, more understanding, more clarity, and more the works. So, Christy, that's where I want you to play. And congratulations, this is huge. Pebbles, why do you think this is all happening now? It's meant to. We chose to come here and incarnate during this special sacred time where it is going to be I don't even have a term for what's coming this summer and what I'm being told is coming. Bonkers beyond bonkers. We all chose to come here during this time to be part of the mass awakening, part of not the grand experiment, an end of a grand experiment, a great awakening and ascension for all. Not meaning that all are dying, but this is the time that humanity shifts. And what do we know? We are a complacent species, downright difficult species, until our back is against the wall. And then we do some mighty good things. Then we make some mighty big changes. This is the summer where our backs are going to be against the wall, and it's going to ramp up more, and it's going to ramp up more until we do that job on the inside, everything we're talking about tonight, and change. But we chose to come here for now. Mary, can you touch on the empowering energy, love, and healing that we can bring each other and the earth during challenging times through the School of Mystics? Oh my God. So Mary is doing both a shameless plug for the School of Mystics, and she's sharing about how much the School of Mystics has changed and transformed the energy in everybody in the School of Mystics, and how those changes on the individual level of everybody in the School of Mystics will necessarily project outwards for the entire world around us. That's why we have the School of Mystics. That's why somebody comes into the School of Mystics thinking they just want their life to be a little bit better. They want to find more peace. They want to find more love. They want to get a better job, a better this, a better that, or even personal healing. And they get so much more. You get so much more. Mary, I have a hard time tooting my own horn in this way. So while I said I've done a bunch of shameless plugs, the amount that I have energetically changed people, because each time I speak, you can feel here tonight is an attunement. And when the sacred group gets together in the School of Mystics, that's like a tenfold or 100-fold. So the energy in the group shifts everyone, starting from me, but really being amplified by all of us. The subconscious rewiring that takes place is massive. The ability to see beyond the veil, to see to the other side, to see possibilities is huge. And then once a month I do clearings as well. And as everybody can attest, and I want to hear how people who are School of Mystics who were here last week, or in the School of Mystics last week, I've been gifted with an ability to do mass clearings. And it's something I need people's permission. That's why I do it, you could say behind a paywall, because I need people's permission to do this. But I do mass clearings that remove fears, worries, lifelong trauma, ancestral trauma, just all the craziest junk that's running in us energetically that you can imagine. I have the ability to remove when we come together as a group, and that's what we do in the School of Mystics, which isn't just a home, it's family. It is family. So Mary, let me know if I missed anything there. That's about as much as I can toot toot beep my horn on that one. Last two questions here. How should light influence societal power and money structures? Everything is going to change, Star Brother. Everything is going to change. I'm not hearing a total system collapse. What I am hearing is a complete and total reorganization or restructuring. And that structure will take time because of how much the old guard is going to want to hold on to power. So we focus, instead of fighting against the old power, we focus on what we want it to look like. What does that mean? Well, I love the Gene Roddenberry version of a future where our artistry and community and helping one another. These are all valuable things. The things that we say, go get a job. I can hear my mom in my head from when I was a kid. She doesn't say it now. I love you, mom. Get a job. Do. Where, sports and the arts were looked down upon, where creativity was frowned upon versus punching the clock. All of this is going to change. All of the things that we thought were unimportant are going to turn out to be the things that are very important. And the idea of let me grab as much money as I can, which is really coming from, at this point, a few individuals and the corporations. And I'm not picking on anyone or anything, but this whole power struggle or power structure built on lack, that's going to crumble. And so we focus on what we do want, on how we can all come together as one. And that is what will come out of the light. Deborah Sinelli, I'm in the last part of my life, quite literally. Deborah, I got to send you so much love. So much love. I see things weird, Deborah. And so there's a party coming your way and it's really, really cool. And it's going to be really, really fun. And it's going to be really, really exciting. And so I want to congratulate you. I want to give you a high five and tell you, you've got this. I want to say, you've got this, babe. And so much goodness is coming your way. Really, truly, we are all half-baked, fully baked into this concept that I'm hearing Shakespeare, parting is such sweet sorrow. It's actually sweet sorrow for those who are still here. I have Sir Meowsers. I'm assuming several years left, but we've had some challenges this year, and he's doing much better. Oh, I love you, Sir Meowsers, and I wouldn't want to let him go for anything. And there is no letting him go. And he is going to party on the other side, and he is going to, grow his. I can picture him as like, what's that? How to name your dragon? Being like Toothless, flying on the other side. So Deborah, getting back, I'm in the last part of my life, quite literally. I feel my angels, but can you tell me about my angelic support system? They are all around you. Thousands, not one or two, but thousands upon thousands upon thousands of angel. My focus is on the divine, not what chaos that is with the world. Call in your team, Deborah. Call in your loved ones. Call in your family members. Call in your pets. Nobody ever transitions alone. Never in the history of history of history. You always have a team waiting for you. And even when it is an emergency checkout, there is always a team by your side. Something really weird with me lately, not about checking out, but I keep on having a worry or concern about something that hasn't taken place yet, and then comes about, not because I was worried and concerned about it, but my timeline is getting messed up. It's not necessarily a bad thing, because time is not real. And so there's more and more things that I see, but it doesn't happen yet, but I'm reacting as if it did happen. What does this have to do with things? What this means is you can call in your angelic support system now, early on in the game. And they're waiting for you by your side. And the sooner that you call them in, the better. It will make things even easier for you. Don't worry about talking to others. Don't worry about talking to your angels out loud. Don't worry about talking to your loved ones out loud. Don't worry about any of this. Just allow them to come to you. And allow them to take the pressure, to take the burden, to take everything off of your shoulders. So that, this is where it gets really weird, Deborah, you can enjoy this experience. You're watching this, Deborah. You are a warrior of light. You are magnificent. You are incredible. Let's actually enjoy this experience and enjoy the I'm half here, I'm half on the other side. Let's enjoy that experience because you're so present and aware, rather than bring that fear into it, and they will be there. So, okay, oh, there's one more question coming. Aaron, let me see if I can get to it, and then we'll wrap things up here. Deborah, have you ever been to a show, been to a play, been to Disney World, been to someplace that you were so excited to go to? That's how I want you to anchor in this time period. We know you're going to the show. We might as well enjoy the anticipation, enjoy the not knowing. This is so much easier, harder and easier than it sounds. But I want you to be present, hyper present with each feeling, with each emotion, with each experience that you're going through. And because you're actually aware of what's coming, it means that you're going to have more visitations on the conscious level from the other side. Bask in it. That's what I want you to do, Deborah. Bask in it, bask in it, bask in it. And I send so much love your way. And I will not say, I'm sorry. I do wish that you get to spend some more time here, but you're going to the show and you're gonna love it. All right, lots of love. Aaron, last question of the evening, my brother. And then we're going to wrap it up. We're not going to do a meditation tonight. We're going to go back to, we'll do one for the School of Mystics Wednesday, and we'll get back to a meditation next week. But I get to do some massive packing here. Aaron Wexler, what's the best way to ask our angels questions, making requests? What's the best way to ask our angels questions, making requests and having back and forth conversations with them? Two key things come to me, Aaron. First off, I'm an automatic writing kind of guy. I will ask them questions in automatic writing every which way I can. Secondly, I'm a kitchen sink kind of guy. Talk to them, have walks with them, hug a tree and talk to them, ask questions before you go to sleep. There is no one best way but to communicate. The more you communicate, the more you hear back. The more that you talk and pause, the more that you hear back. The more that you ask them silly questions and listen, the more you hear back. If you keep talking and do not give them a chance, you don't hear back. If you go quiet and don't say anything, you're not going to hear back. The more communication you have in whatever way works for you, the more they're able to get back in touch with you. You know, in the RV, I've just put a new notebook next to the head of my bed. Actually, it came from a place I went to visited years ago in Thailand, where Jessica and I were asked to run a mindfulness meditation center. How does it get any better than this? But I put the notebook for my bed so I can jot down all my dreams and take notes of what the angels say to me at night. Let's start there, Aaron. Let's start writing down whatever the angels say to you, whatever comes through in your dreams, and then let's write back, because they're opening a portal, they're opening a doorway to and for you. So I get to wrap things up for tonight. I get to go, lots and lots of goodness. Lots and lots of goodness gets to be done. So I want to send you so much light, love. Do come join us for our spiritual warrior training. I keep getting those two names keep coming from them. Spiritual warrior training and light warrior training. But come join us Wednesday. The team will put the link down below. Would love to see you. Would love, love, love to have you there. It is a life changer, to say the least. And Mary, I can't do any justice to it, except I say it's a life changer. Isn't that not hyperbole? What's the word? Cliche? I don't have a word that's strong enough for all the goodness that comes out of becoming a mystic, which is who and what you truly are, but joining the School of Mystics. So maybe I'll let fellow mystics here share that to you, but sending lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of love your way. How does it get any better than this? Meowsers, do you want to say hi on camera? Yeah, he's resting over there. Okay. Lots of love, everyone. And now I get to figure out how to press the end button, and you are going to hear the most beautiful, I'm totally biased, music from, I know she's going to win a Grammy very, very shortly, from my dear sister, quite literally, Ayla Ray. All right. Good night, everyone. Lots of love. Woohoo! And see you next time from Canada. Oh, what's Thursday's show? Michael Beckwith. How does it get any better than this? Lots of love, everyone.
wheels spinning. Time to toss any fears that rule you. Dance to vibrations, no limitations. Shine, hold the sunlight on your chest and fly. Look to the sky, let your spirit shine brightly, shine brightly. Oh, shine. Share the magic deep in your soul. The glitter around you. Live your greatest truth. Catch those dreams, swimming beside you. Yours for the taking. No more just waiting.